again amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Come on with the pen, let's rapper taste on it, you know?
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, so we are back. Unfortunately, Rob is out again this week because he sucks. But that's all right. We're going to throw him under the bus a little bit. But he will be in for the third episode, we guess. We assume. Maybe.
Hopefully.
But this week, we are here to discuss the classic what was this? 1990? 91. Classic hit New Jack City, starring Wesley Snipes, Alan Payne, Christopher Williams, who else is in this movie?
Tracy Marrow.
Tracy Marrow.
Ice-T.
Is that his real name?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, thanks. Thank you for that little tidbit.
Yeah. Throwing poor Ice-T directly under the bus. But he was a badass in this movie. He was great. So yeah, we're gonna get into all the great things from Nino Brown's haircut to some memorable lines to how absolutely fucked up the crack epidemic was in the late 80s. Good Lord. The movie takes place in 1986. And I think, a level of it is...
Does the entire movie take place in 86? That's when
it starts. So, you assume just the late 80s.
There was some music that I'm like, I know that didn't come out in 86.
Yeah.
Like Guy.
Like
was
the
in
whole
there.
New Jack Swing.
Yeah, you mean the band's actually playing in the movie? Once again, just like last week, the first episode of Superfly. That apparently black movies, we just got to put the soundtrack. We just put them in the movie.
Oh yeah, Keith Sweat was in that movie.
Yes, that's right. He sung at the wedding.
I fucking can't stand his voice. I still.
Oh, it's so whining. I wish he had gotten shot.
Personally.
That was pretty accurate. That was fairly accurate. Well, I wish he had gotten shot in that sense, but he did not. He survived. So, yeah, okay. So let's start overarching, and then we'll move in. So basically, the premise of the movie is Nino Brown, a drug lord in New York, played by Wesley Snipes, and his CMB, the Cash Money Brothers, or brothers, excuse me, decide that they are going to take over a high-rise and sell crack and make a lot of money, and they do. So the cops are trying to stop them. It's, the sort of war on drugs very much realized. So, yeah. Overall, what did you guys think of the movie? We were all rewatching it, by the way.
I fucking love the movie. Like it's overacted, yeah.
Yeah.
But and it beats you over the head, yeah. But I have fond memories of that movie, and I love the music from that era. I love New Jack Swing.
Yeah,
it's my favorite type of music. So it was all good for me. I loved it.
I can't say that this is my favorite type of music.
I love
it. But the music, the movie it's a good movie. It's very entertaining. Wesley Snipes does an excellent job in it.
Yeah, he really does.
He's a fucking psychopath. And Ice-T does the best he can with his abilities. I never really liked Alan Payne.
No, I've never been a fan.
Actor, but he played his part pretty well. Overall, it's a good movie.
I always feel like Alan Payne is just playing himself. It's just like ghetto Alan Payne or Family Man Alan Payne in some Tyler Perry TV show. Yeah,
I hate that show so much.
I hate that show. Yeah. Oh, don't worry. We will be getting to a Tyler Perry movie soon enough.
Oh, is that the Pain?
House of Pain.
Oh yeah, fuck that show. Fuck that show in the ass. With a baseball bat.
Well, why do you not like that so much?
Yeah,
sir?
fuck that. Because what the hell? Like, no, my name cannot be associated with that.
Well,
at all.
I just assumed it was. I just assumed. I just assumed
just
it was
right
about your family.
Just stop right there. God damn it! You're a jerk.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. The clips I've seen of that show, I'm like,
It's
I'm
not
out.
funny.
Yeah,
It's not funny at all.
no, it looks like really lowball humor. Like it, I can't stand shows like that. So now here's a interesting fact about the movie. This is Mario Van Peebles' first directing job.
His first feature film. He directed a couple episodes of 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. His first feature film. The movie cost $8 million to make, which is nothing by Hollywood standards, even back in '91. And it made $47 million, which is an absolute bona fide hit, budget wise. Who knew? I mean, like they still at that point, blaxploitation had been well over for 20 years. There wasn't any big rush of black movies. I mean, there was
That's
a
what I'm
good
thinking,
dry
like,
spell.
As
for
far
20 years.
as that time, what other black movies were out
None.
in '91?
I mean, not really, not much of anything. So this really made a huge impact when it came out, which kind of spawned a lot of movies in that same sort of genre, like A Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood and everything else. I think a number of years later, but still, I mean, those movies clearly dealing with the same sort of world.
Right.
But yeah, just because New Jack City almost made $40 million profit.
Now, why do you think this movie made so much money? Because, I mean, it's a black movie, but we're not going to make it that type of money going to the movie theaters.
I mean, I don't know. $40 million. I mean, Tyler Perry movies make 50 now.
Now they do.
Well, now, but I mean, back then.
Back in
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would,
$40 million. But back then, movies cost like, what, $5 to get into?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Gotta
movies were a lot
work
cheaper to
for
get into.
inflation.
Well, I think probably, I mean, hey, Roger Ebert gave it 3.5 out of 4 stars. Like, I mean, it was critically, well received. So,
Well, it's a story that people who look like us know about or have had some sort of first or secondhand experience
true.
with it.
yeah.
And it's a window. If you didn't grow up in that time, in that atmosphere, it's a window for people who, don't see that stuff. I mean, it's
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
like if you live in like Connecticut, like Greenwich or whatever, you don't understand.
Oh, what do you mean? There are no large black ghettos in Connecticut? Not as far as I know.
If you live across the street from Vince McMahon, you don't know what it's like in New York. And,
Slumming it with the McMahons.
right. You know what I mean? Like it's a window into this world, and it was told in a way that's like, oh wow, this is. It was told in a way that if you're not experienced with this, you feel good having seen it because now you think you understand.
Yeah, I can see that.
understand your pain.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
no, you don't.
Hey, I understand what you're going through there.
Yeah.
I've seen New Jack City.
I saw the documentary, New Jack City. I understand. I agree with that. I think the timing was right. Like I said earlier, there's basically a 20-year drought of no significant amount of black movies coming out. I mean, blaxploitation pretty much ended at the beginning of the 80s, really. With a few, like Blazing Saddles, but that was sort of making fun of, the decade prior, really.
Right. I wouldn't
there-
even consider Blazing Saddles a blaxploitation.
I mean, not. It has its elements,
Right.
it has its elements. But I guess you're right. It's not really truly a blaxploitation movie. So,
It's like the closest movie, like we were talking about offline, would probably be that was a parody, but as far as black movies, you had Robert Towson with what's the name of that movie that he did? Hollywood Shuffle, and then you had I can't remember. I can't think of the name of it right now. I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. I think those are like 86 and 87. Those were pretty close to each other.
right,
But after that,
it's nothing.
just this. And I can't really think of anything
And
else.
and those were comedies. Those were spoofs.
Right, those
they
were
weren't
spoofs.
meant to be taken seriously like this is.
This is taken very
Extremely,
seriously.
yeah.
Extremely serious.
Getting shot in the head in broad daylight.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's kind of how he rolled. But let's get an interesting introduction to the main character, Nino Brown.
Oh, don't start bitching up now. You don't have my product, and you don't have my money.
You gotta give me another chance! Nino, please!
Look, the brothers don't wait to get paid. Money talks. Bullshit runs the marathon. So, see ya. And I wouldn't want to be here.
That's a pretty decent opening.
Yeah.
I mean, throwing a guy off a bridge.
Yeah.
A white guy, for that matter, which is very, very, I'm sure was on purpose.
It's meant to be shocking.
Yeah,
you know,
like-
especially for the people who, like I said, aren't exactly familiar with, a certain type of lifestyle.
White people. I mean, we could say it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Or even affluent black people who just never knew that. Or, anybody. And it's not even about race. It's just anybody, because there's plenty of white people who are crackheads in this movie. When they go into the Carter complex,
Right.
White, black, they don't care.
What do they
Everybody's
call it?
the Carter.
They're the Carter, but there's that one section where everybody sits down to get
The
high.
drugstore.
Right.
No. The drugstore is where they make the drugs. Was it the Enterprise?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
called like the
Yeah.
Starship Enterprise. They get high.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that throwing. There's a lot of references to the whole idea of like the old guard being like pushed off, and here's these young black guys doing what these guys did. I mean, the whole push back and forth with the Italians
Right,
is
with
that.
basically the mafia.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, go fuck yourself. We're the new gangsters, and by throwing people off of bridges. Dude, I mean, within the first
broad daylight.
Yeah, and like the first 2 minutes, it was like I'd forgotten about that scene, and I was just like, what's the reason for them holding it? I don't remember this. And it was like, and then you see him step out with that fucking blue suit on, and I was like, oh, son, you're done. And I was like, oh yeah, the
I
line.
remember.
And then his ass got tossed. But what did they do with his wife? That dude's wife.
Chick that was screaming. I have no idea.
They should've just
I
tossed her,
was-
too,
I was
like,
a
yeah.
little shocked. Like I couldn't get over. I'm watching it. Like I forgot about this, but I can't believe he did that shit at like 3:00 in the afternoon.
This
Right.
is
Like
traffic.
rush hour traffic.
Doing right.
Let's just throw a dude off a bridge in rush hour traffic.
And get
no
back-
one's gonna say shit about
Yeah,
it.
and get back in your car and
And leave.
drive. Yeah.
I'm like, is that how they did things? Like I was like 5, but I don't remember
Hey.
about people being thrown off bridges in broad daylight.
Well, this is why you weren't in the crack game, because you can't
Maybe.
understand. You can't understand basic things like killing a guy in the middle of the day. Seems reasonable.
In the most outlandish way possible.
Yeah, exactly. With an awesome line as he goes falling, and then roll credits in the beginning. Yeah, but so Nino decides like, okay, this guy's got to go. They don't explain why. Doesn't
Yeah,
really
it
matter.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You
he
gotta-
was
this
he was in
was-
the way.
he was in the way.
This was just to introduce the type of person Nino Brown
A
is.
piece of shit.
Yeah, he's-
I mean, you compare Nino Brown to Youngblood Priest from Superfly that we did before. Youngblood Priest, like, he's a likable character.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's a kind of a badass, blah, blah, blah. But Nino Brown is just a horrible person
He has
at
no
every
redeeming
turn.
qualities.
He's absolutely despicable. He's absolutely despicable.
Yes.
Like,
There's nothing. You're not like, well, I like, no.
I
I'm
mean, by the time that wedding scene comes along, if you had any doubt that Nino Brown was not a despicable human being, when he picks up a girl and uses her as a human shield, when he picks up an 8-year-old and uses her as a human shield, like there you go. Like
Yeah.
that says all
kind
you
of a
need
dick.
to know.
Yeah, just gonna throw that out there. I don't. Yeah, they made him very unlikable.
Yeah, they
Very
went out of their way. They went out of their way.
It's like there's nothing good inside this man at all.
no.
He's a dick,
Yeah.
and he
I-
deserves to die.
Yeah, he deserves to die. And when he died, you were just like, yeah, that seems about right. Spoiler alert. But okay, so moving on from there, Nino's sitting there. He's talking to his crew. I love how, like, in the beginning, they don't have a lot of money. They're in this like back room.
They
It's
have
kind
a
of
club, and it's like a wooden table.
yeah, it's all like shoddy. But there's a number of moments in this movie that are the message moments in the movie. Like, hey, look, we're trying to say something. Pay attention. Like, it's all cool, but we're trying to make a point here. And he has these like moments of these like profound points that he makes. Like
Right.
this horrible, horrible human being who throws people off bridges has this level of like depth to him, which I thought was interesting. So here's another interesting clip as the Cash Money brothers are getting their start.
The difference between them paying me $800 a week and you paying me $8,000 a week.
I think my cousin also likes the fact that you're in the tradition of Joe Kennedy.
Who?
Good. Because you gotta rob to get rich in the Reagan era. They're running a strange program, y'all. I mean, more poor and disenfranchised folks than this place has ever seen. And see, they try to front this shit off like it don't exist. Meanwhile, the rich get richer.
The poor don't get a fucking thing.
Times like these, people want to get high. Real high and real fast. And this is gonna do it.
Yeah, well, crack.
Preach.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, they sort of hit you over the head with that one.
Yeah.
Got to rob to make it in the Reagan era. I mean,
I don't think he did, but that was the quickest way to make money, I guess.
yeah, I mean, you didn't have to commit crimes.
Rob people and shoot them and throw them off bridges, but if you wanted to make money as fast as possible, I guess that's the way to go.
I mean, in Nino Brown's eyes, I think it's the only way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to kill somebody. Somebody's got to die, and it's anyone around you.
Somebody's got to get lullabied.
Yeah, I love.
I fucking love that.
I love that. That's a verb. Lullabied is a verb. But yeah, I mean, I love moments like that because not only are they interesting and they're preachy and that's kind of funny, but they're true to an extent. Like those people were so disenfranchised. Like people on the lower end were so disenfranchised at that point because of policies that were going on in the United States and everything else that a lot of people did. Well, one definitely turned to drugs, and a lot of people turned to crime. They did. So I mean, that's not disputable. You can talk about whether or not they should have done it. Yeah, I agree, but whether they did it or not is certainly not debatable.
There's no debate on that. Yeah.
Also, I love that scene.
First-hand knowledge of that.
Yeah. Well,
not me.
Yeah, it's like we have a criminal.
I was too young.
We have a criminal here on the podcast.
I wasn't sticking up little babies.
Yeah, that's
when I at 5 years old. But
I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that wallet. I don't have a wallet.
When you got family, yeah, shit happens.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, it's a sad truth.
It's pretty fucked up.
But it is that scene also makes me laugh because you can hear the show playing in the background because they're in the back of the club,
right?
Which is fucking awesome. Also, the dance, like apparently at every club in 1986. You always needed to go with someone who dressed identical to you, and you would dance as teams.
I like to play.
Yeah, did you notice that? Like there at the club scene, there was like 6 different groups, and they were all dressed the same. I was like, "Is there a dance battle going on?" No, it's just a Saturday. They just randomly dance battle all the time.
They're practicing. They're practicing
for constant dance battles.
You never know. You never know when someone. It's hard out there on the streets.
Well, you don't want to get served randomly.
Exactly.
You want to do this.
What does getting served mean in this era?
Yeah, well,
I don't think dancing is going to get you out of fucking. If you're getting some shit with Nino Brown, I don't think dancing is going to help you. He might.
Look at Nino Brown takes out a cane with a blade in it. You start doing the running man.
Huh? Is it cool? No, you about to die. Oh, okay. Sorry, Mr. Brown.
Better take off running. And did you notice that this almost started exactly like fucking Superfly with Ice-T running after.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Running after Chris Rock. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, dude, he was fucking hauling ass. I do have to say this. We got a comment, just real quick. We got a comment back about the first episode. Let's see if I can find it here. Says this guy, Gator Rube on Twitter says, rewatching Superfly and Do was spot on with the belt analogy. I told you. I fucking told you. He says, also, Priest could have been an alternate in the Jamaican 4x100 team.
Yeah, he was gone, man. He was hauling ass.
Yeah. So apparently the new Jamaican 4x100 team could be comprised of Youngblood Priest and Ice-T.
Right. And
Usain Bolt. We need one more. So as we keep watching black movies, we'll find the rest of our Jamaican 4x100 team. But yeah, that chase when Ice-T was chasing Pookie was fucking crazy.
Chasing on a fucking BMX bike.
Yeah.
Did you know he was like? Did you notice he was like doing tricks when he like jumped? He was like
I was watching Premium Rush.
I was like, why are you doing that?
When he jumped the steps, I'm like, all right.
Like, that's not really necessary.
Not at all. But
you're a crack addict who stole a bunch of money. Yeah,
Was he a crack addict at that
He
time?
wasn't a crack
wasn't
addict
on
at
it
that time.
at
Yeah.
that time.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was just like a stick-up
Right.
kid kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then he fell off that one part, like near the train, and just fucking.
Yeah. He fell off and got up and started running, which they didn't show. Like I thought
he got hit by a
Yeah, I
train
was about to say,
in the
was it
beginning.
implying that he was going to get hit by a train, and then all of a sudden he just got back up and ran through the basketball court where he got shot in the leg.
Yeah, well, basically that. But you know what? Sorry, Pookie, you shouldn't do drugs, or you shouldn't try to steal from a cop. All right, so so at this point, Cash Money Brothers are basically taking over the Carter, their housing project, to, basically make this like their drug haven. One side note: if anyone has seen Dredd, which I know all of us have seen, that scene where they like sort of pan around the Carter is almost exactly like the scene from Dredd. Like
It actually is, yeah.
Yeah, it's very similar. I was like, looks like somebody's been watching New Jack City.
Imagine that.
Yeah, they're like, we need an inspiration. I mean, think about it. Their plan to take over the Carter is not that different from what they did in Dredd.
It's Mama. She
it's
did
the exact
same
same
thing.
Yeah.
Only it was fucking 200 stories in Dredd as opposed
And it was
to what,
the
like
future.
7
Yeah.
in the Carter.
But I mean, when I watched, I was like, "That's kind of funny." Like it was very similar. Also, I don't listen to his music, not really. But I wonder, is the Carter the reason why Lil Wayne goes?
He's a lot of inspiration from this movie. CMB,
Cash Money. Like that's where
really?
That's where they got this from.
The Carter. Well, his last name is.
Well,
Carter.
his last name is Carter,
So-
but
is it?
their
Okay.
whole clique, the Cash Money.
Millionaires.
Yeah, that's a takeoff from Cash Money Brothers.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Oh, see, I'm not a Lil Wayne person.
Well, hey man,
The beats are hot, but that guy sounds like a moron. I can't listen to stupid people yell at me in my headphones. Occasionally I do, but not often. But that's what I was wondering, was that an inspiration for him? Because of his background. He's such an idiot. He is. I'm sorry. He's not a genius.
Well, he's incredibly intelligent, but
Is he?
He is. Like
He's
most
like an
hip-hop,
insane person.
Most hip hop artists are extremely smart.
Yeah.
No.
But no,
I'm not
him,
saying
him himself.
I'm talking about him specifically. I don't doubt Jay-Z is incredibly intelligent. Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne, you'd be surprised.
He's
You know what?
It's-
I would be.
You would be. It's the persona.
he's just uncouth. It's
He has to keep a persona, but he's not dumb.
he's not a dummy. But yeah.
I think he's like slightly crazy though.
Did you guys see the or hear the clip of Lil Wayne being interviewed?
Interrogated?
Yeah.
No.
We'll find it offline. It's like he went to the Dr. Doom school of interrogation, where it's just like, no. One word answers.
Yeah.
And to the point where he was like, he ain't gonna save you, right? And it's just like,
It's like threatening this.
is
dude.
that a threat? I ain't say that. What a threat? It's like what? Like
Are you fucking with me?
like he was messing with the dude, man. Like it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, but
He went to the Dr. Doom school of negotiation.
it's amazing, dude.
It's
we'll,
wild.
We'll pull it up if anybody knows what it is.
Yeah, I'll have to listen to that. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. I've got to get my Lil Wayne information. I got to get that up. Okay, so at this point, Cash Money Brothers have taken over the Carter. They've got ID cards. Like that whole scene where Pookie is explaining how the Carter
I was
works.
like, what the fuck is this? Is this
How did they come up with all of this?
It was wild. I felt like I was watching the fucking Demolition Man.
It
for a second.
did. It did feel like
It was
that.
very strange.
They're like, you need
This
the
is
key
like
card.
88?
Yeah.
What?
They're like, you need a key card to get in. You can smoke your crack at home, or you can stay here. It's like
They have computers set up and all kinds of shit.
that network.
Really?
I work in computers. That network would have been quite lame.
Well, that floppy disk and shit.
Yeah, they were
What-
like,
what can
take
you
out.
do?
I like when they like break in. They're like, oh, are the floppies there? Oh my god, they remembered to take the floppies.
took the floppies
Like,
and
yeah,
had
they just
information.
unplugged them and put them in a little case. It's not really that hard to remember that. It's just like they're like, oh my god, they're such moguls. Yes, they really outwitted you guys. But yeah, that whole sequence was Like, it was like crazy. I was like,
yeah, it was very strange.
Who set that up? That's amazing.
Well, it was.
Well, they established that they have a computer. Right.
Yeah, Christopher Williams.
They established that they have a
Fake ass
computer
Albie
guy.
Shore. Yes, who decided to come in from the banking industry.
Yeah.
I mean, like that clip we played. Is the difference of them paying me $800 a week, or are you paying me $8,000 a week? I was like, well, $8,000 a week is a lot of money. I mean, in fairness, maybe I would have gone over and worked for the Cash Money Brothers too. That's a lot of scratch there, Cash Money.
Like I didn't see any of the drugs, but I set up the network.
Yeah, I set up their land. If I could just get eight G's a week, that'd be great. That's insane. All right, so then basically Pookie is well, before that, Pookie is played by Chris Rock, is a crack fiend and or a junkie, and so there's an interesting scene. One, we don't have this part clipped out, where he goes and he's begging Nino for a Thanksgiving dinner, and they give him a fucking half a turkey.
And then he immediately tries to sell that half a turkey.
Yeah, exactly, because he loves drugs. But then Ice-T's character catches up with him after he gets caught beating on this woman. So here's another very famous scene from Pookie.
You don't shut up, I'm gonna blow your brains out.
Come on, man. Don't hurt me, man.
Shut up.
I know I was wrong beating on that girl, man. But this crack shit, man, it's got me, man. I don't got no control over it, man. I try to kick, man. That shit just be calling me, man. Be calling me, man. I just gotta go to it. Need help, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that scene. It'd be calling me, man. But it's another message.
Yeah.
I can't help it. You know, I need help. I mean, the very next scene is him yelling at Ice-T like, fuck you, I'm going to die in this rehab place. And he's like, I hate you, I hate this shit. But like 2 seconds ago, you're like, I need help, man. You know, it's just like.
Yeah, crack is fucked up. Is what it is.
Yeah. Don't. If you learn nothing from Black on Black Cinema, don't do crack. We have a simple show message here.
Don't do crack. Cocaine wasn't as bad.
I think we all learned that from Superfly. Apparently, you can snort
that shit.
You can snort half a piece of dope every day. That's the American dream.
The American dream.
And still run a marathon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, your heart is pumping 5 times faster than it should be. But okay, so I think everybody agrees that Chris Rock did an amazing job playing Pookie. I mean, he was awesome.
This was my first introduction to Chris Rock. So
yeah, mine too.
That he was Pookie. And like I thought that guy was a crackhead.
Well,
for the longest time.
Yeah. Well, you were not the only one, because apparently on an episode of Inside the Actors Studio, Chris Rock joked that drug dealers, and he wasn't really joking, that drug dealers for a long time after he did New Jack City would come up and slip vials of crack in his pockets. Like, here you go, buddy. So apparently he was pretty fucking convincing.
Like that's amazing. Like they just took a fiend from the streets, put him in this movie, and said, "Here, act this out," and those dudes believed it. Like that's testament to how good he can act. Now.
Yeah. I mean,
when he wants to,
yeah,
right.
Or
I mean,
when
he
gets
is
the right role, I guess.
Well, when he doesn't write his own movie material.
Well, therein lies a large point of that. I think the only other movie I liked him in was what was it? I Think I Love My Wife. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, with with what's her name?
Lawrence Fishburne's wife.
Her and
Gina
who's the other
Torres?
chick? Yeah, Gina Torres was in it, and
Whatever the little sex kitten chick is. She is insanely attractive.
I can't remember her name. Kerry Washington.
Kerry Washington. Yeah, it's just like, she's like, to me, she's a classy Megan Good.
God,
a classy Megan Good.
Megan Good is not Megan Good is not a classy chick. She's just not. Well, let me rephrase that. Megan Good never plays a classy chick. She just doesn't. I'm never under the impression of like, oh, you're acting. No, you brought those clothes from home. Like that ain't no wardrobe. That's not a wardrobe change.
Kind of harsh.
Yeah. Sorry, that's how we roll here.
Yeah, he
Nope.
was pretty good in that movie.
Yeah, he was good. I enjoyed that. I cringe as I watch that movie all the time. I'm just like, ugh, don't accept that girl's phone call. Don't. Can't run that fast, man. You can't
I
run
enjoy both of those women, Kerry Washington and Gina Torres.
Yes,
I think they're both very attractive.
I didn't realize she was married to Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, hey, you did pretty good there, Lawrence.
Yeah, especially now. After the Matrix, he kind of let himself go.
Oh, damn.
Well, he's not lying. It's a little rough nowadays.
Like, that's it.
Well, he might be able to join the cast of Expandables. My ever growing former badass to fat movie stars. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put him on the cast. Expendables. It's gonna happen. All right, so from there, Pookie's sent undercover to work with the cops after he gets clean, thanks to Ice-T, excuse me. Which that scene where Pookie's getting clean is actually pretty well shot. Like they really show like here's withdrawal. Like this is not fucking
He was
around.
in pain.
Yeah,
There's no scenes.
All that tells me is like I don't ever need to do crack. No need to try that. Sorry, that seems fucking horrendous. As if any of the scenes with people doing crack didn't work for you. There's another scene that was just
Like,
like
if you want to do
brutal.
crack after watching this movie, you were probably doing it prior. And you just can't. You just can't.
You
stop.
just can't stop because it's calling you. So
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do? But so Pookie gets inside the drugstore, which is such a classic scene of all the women topless and him cracking jokes about like, oh, you got skim milk in there, whatever, you know, like the whole thing, which was more of like that was Chris Rock coming through in that role instead of playing a character. I mean, the part was great, and then of course he starts stealing crack.
Slipping.
Yeah,
Like, come on, dude.
like you made
I
it,
was
man.
fucking mad when he like
Yeah,
I'm
and
seeing
I
this
know.
shit, and I'm like, I was angry at him. Like, come on.
Did you
man.
see all the work Ice-T did to help you out?
But I'm equally upset at Ice. You don't do that. You don't put someone who has recovered.
Yeah.
You don't put them in that situation. Like, what kind of irresponsible shit is that?
I agree.
Bad parent.
You're a bad parent, Ice-T. You're a bad
Jesus
parent.
Christ, dude! You don't. Someone's getting off of alcohol. You don't let them work at a brewery.
Well,
what the fuck, you don't.
Sam from Cheers worked at a bar, and he was a recovering alcoholic. Maybe Ice-T took his points from Sam from Cheers. Now here is an interesting thing. You talk about fucking message. The time where Pookie gets the crack again and he's in the apartment, there's lightning going on. He's like sweating like crazy. He's got the crack pipe. He's wearing a shirt that has the American flag on it. Like, you couldn't talk about more like framing a shot. They're like, get it? Do you get it? Like, here's real America. I'm like, we get it. It's crack. It's fucked up. Like, we get it. But Mario Van Peebles framed it perfect. I mean, that was a perfectly shot scene. It was great. But it was club you over the head again with, like, crack fucked up Black America.
Well, when you think about it, did he really overdo it? I mean,
I guess not really overdo it, but, I mean, it's in your face. I guess it's for
there.
people. It's not for us.
Right, exactly. For the people that just didn't know what the fuck was going on, it's like, this is it. They probably didn't get it. To be
Even
honest
still.
with you.
Even
yeah,
still.
they're probably like, oh, this dude is on crack. But
Right. They didn't get the symbolism there.
right,
Yeah,
they
I mean,
probably-
I
this
was
probably
like,
went right over their fucking heads.
I was like, this
but-
is like screaming to my brain, like, yeah, okay, well, American flag and all. I mean, he might as well have been. It was like a shirt with the American flag like sort of painted on it. It might as well have been a shirt made of an American flag at that
He
point.
might
Like,
have been draped in the American flag doing crack.
yeah, just like as a sheet. Like, well, it's like, wow. Yeah, I mean, they were not fucking around, and I love moments like that because it was, of course, there were more Dutch angles, but which is a very like beginner director sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that in some modern movies, like in Thor, like they use Dutch angles a lot in that movie. But Kenneth Branagh wasn't a beginning director. I don't know why he thought it made sense to do that, but
Those Dutch angles remind me of an Adam West joke. I'm a fan of the '60s Batman,
Of course.
and I have the DVD of the '60s Batman movie. And Adam West, in the commentary, Adam West makes a comment about why all the villains are at Dutch angles. It's because they're crooks.
Oh my!
Oh wow, Jesus!
Really?
Really, Adam West? God damn.
Get the fuck out of here!
Look, Matthew's not here. All right, somebody's got to make these jokes.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. Apparently Adam West has to do it, and that was horrible.
That was incredibly corny.
Yeah, well,
Yet funny.
somehow it worked. Okay, so Pookie, of course, starts fucking up, starts doing crack because Ice-T is an irresponsible parent, as we've discussed. And then he gets busted by G Money, played by Ellen Payne, and the rest of yeah, sure. So he gets busted. They blow the building, although they didn't. I don't know why they said that and didn't do it. That was kind of odd. But they just lit shit on fire, basically, is what they did. Oh no, they did put a bomb.
They tried to blow it.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
but that got defused.
Judd Nelson defused it. What was the name of the fucking movie? I can't even remember.
Yeah, I don't even remember his name. Crazy person.
What is his name?
Oh God, I don't even know.
Nick Peretti.
Nick Peretti.
Yes.
That sounds about right. They were like, what's a really Italian name we could come up with? But yeah, so Pookie gets killed. They strap a bomb to him. It doesn't go off. Nick Peretti saves the day with that. But then there's sort of this solemn funeral of after Pookie died, and this interesting speech that I was going to clip out, but it was really cheesy, about how Judd Nelson's character is like, it's not a black thing, it's not a white thing, it's a death thing. Death doesn't matter about, it doesn't care about race. I'm like, yeah, we get it. Fuck, I know. But it just seemed a little, amongst everything else, it seemed ham-handed. Even that seemed like over the top.
That didn't even make sense to me, honestly.
Well,
he's like, it's a death thing, but I'm like, the fuck does that mean?
Well, I guess he means that
drugs kill everyone.
I think what they should have said is it's a drug thing and not a death thing.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for him to say. Like, this is a drug thing. I'm like, a death thing?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And they're trying to give you so many messages at one time, like the dynamic between Nick and Scotty. The badass black cop who no one wants to work with, and
yes,
the crazy white cop who
no one wants to
work with. But they hate each other, but they have to work together to
stop the one.
It's not a
criminal.
black thing. It's not a white thing. It's a death thing.
Yeah,
and that still makes no fucking sense.
It makes no fucking sense. I agree. No, but you're right. I mean, it is very cliche. Like, the two of them are very cliche characters. I mean, basically,
like they're making racial jokes, like not jokes, but like they're racial jokes with spite in their.
Oh,
words.
Definitely.
Oh, is that a black thing? Like, motherfucker, shut up. You know what? That's
Ice-T was really mad. Ice-T was really mad a lot.
An angry, light-skinned individual.
Right. Yes, he really, really was.
I'd be pretty mad if my name was Tracy also.
Ice Tracy, I guess. That's why he hit women. Because he was a fucking pimp in real life. He was. Interesting little fact about Mr. T, Mr. Ice-T. He didn't actually want to take the role of the cop because he had, he didn't want to fuck up his street cred because he had like ties with the Crips and everything. So he wanted basically to play Nino Brown, and they were like, no. And Wesley Snipes didn't want to play Nino Brown; he wanted to play the cop. But Mario Van Peebles and the writer Thomas Lee Wright basically wrote Nino Brown's character for Wesley Snipes, and they were like, no, we think you're going to be amazing in it, and of course he was.
Right.
Could you imagine those two actors swap roles? How so much worse this movie would be?
Would it be worse though?
I think it would be worse.
I mean, Ice-T.
Because Nino Brown, Wesley Snipes brings a certain charisma to Nino Brown.
That's true.
Where you want to like Nino Brown, but he's
can't.
a scumbag, so you can't like Nino Brown. But I can't imagine Ice-T delivering those lines the same way that Wesley Snipes does. I'm thinking back of everything that Wesley Snipes does in this movie. I can't imagine Ice-T using a girl as a human shield.
I can imagine that.
I'm
sorry, I can imagine that.
I can't imagine him being best friends with Alan Payne. I can't imagine him saying
that's too much light-skinnedness. Like
too much.
At the top. I feel like you need. I feel like part of the reason they chose Wesley Snipes is because, and this is not even a joke, because he's so dark.
Yeah.
I think part of it is like you can't get more of a dichotomy from the mafia to Wesley Snipes. Yeah. As Rick James said, Wesley Snipes was the darkest dude before the Murphy brothers.
Before Charlie Murphy. Yeah. I mean, the wedding scene. Everyone's wearing white, and then he's wearing black.
Is he wearing black?
Yeah, he's wearing black in that scene. In that scene.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Like it's, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine those two actors flipping those roles.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I mean, Wesley Snipes is a trained actor, and
and Ice-T
is not.
Ice-T.
Yeah, but interesting though, Ice-T, because he didn't want to play the cop or whatever, but he ended up taking it because hey, you're still in the movie or whatever, and you're acting. That doesn't make you a cop. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He decided after that to release Cop Killer, which was like sort of like to get his fucking street cred back.
Right, and cops did not like that at all. I actually remember that. I was young, but I remember when he fucking released that song.
They were like,
that's not cool.
Yeah, he was
the
like,
fuck is this?
He was like,
got a lot of backlash from that.
Yeah, but dude, Ice-T is still a pimp, just because for the fact that he was an actual pimp, right? He was a Crip. All that shit's real. Gets into, starts a music career, gets into Hollywood, plays a cop, releases a song called Cop Killer. Cops revolt. White people are pissed as hell about it. Not just white people. Everybody was pretty pissed at him. Writes a song. It becomes popular. Then dude turns around and then plays a cop on TV.
Every week.
And he's still a cop on TV. He's still a cop. Yeah, I mean, he's like, basically Ice-T's career has come down to go fuck yourself. I can do whatever I want. And people are like...
He pretty much can.
Yeah, and people are just like, I'll accept that.
Yeah.
And he has a reality show.
Right, and he's got a reality show with his wife that can't be... Like, it's on E, for God's sakes. Like,
Yeah.
it
And
can't...
she couldn't be any more eye candy.
Right, she couldn't be any more trophy wife. Right?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, yes. Yeah, she's insane. But... Yeah, Ice-T is an amazing character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, basically Ice-T and Judd Nelson decide like, fuck that, we're gonna go get Nino Brown. They really want to kill him. But interspersed in that, you have the most known scene of all time, which is, of course, a clip of it is even in our intro. So we have to definitely play that right about now.
Don't nobody know nothing? What up with this? Somebody got to know something was going on. See what I'm saying? Ain't that right, G-Money? Yeah, I think G-Money definitely knows something. Yeah, G-Money knows something.
You fucked up. You fucked up big time. You're incapable of running this shit.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Kareem brought him to my attention.
We got 300 people working for us at all times. I can't keep my eye on every single one of them.
You was taking care of business
If I was
instead
what? If I was what? Say it again. What'd you say?
Nothing.
That's what I thought you said. Because that's what I got right now. Nothing. $1 million a week business. Reduce the fucking rebels.
Reduce the fucking rubbles. Multiple rubble. But that scene is fucking classic. The scene is classic. Jumping rope with the chain from his dog. Everybody's in black. Sitting at this ridiculous table with these giant fucking... Like they're out of the... I mean, it's out of a fucking video game, kind of thing. But it was great. I mean, that was a powerful scene. It really was.
It evokes all those mobster movies that we watch. I mean, Nino Brown watches Scarface a couple of times in this
movie, yeah.
Like, and he has a Scarface quote like that. That scene is very telling of the things that black folks kind of looked up to.
Yeah, and still do. Some still do. I mean, we watched Offline and we were laughing our asses off, but that scene has been redone on Martin, which was hilarious. It's certainly, that imagery has certainly been used in rap videos, you know, sort of like this, you know, modern day Knights of the Round Table kind of gangsters, you know. And it certainly had been used before, but even before New Jack City, but they put their own take on it.
Their own urban spin on it, right? It's just a classic scene. You can't, like, everybody knows that scene.
Yeah.
And that table, like you were talking about, like, it's ridiculous. Like, why the fuck does he need that big ass table with all those people around in his house? I mean, it's very interesting. Like, I remember, did Tony Montana have that table in his house?
I think it's pretty close to it. Yeah.
And people still love that damn movie today.
Dude, I haven't seen Scarface in like 15 years. I need to sit and watch it again.
I have it somewhere. No,
of course, you guys own it. I mean, aren't we all required to own it?
Apparently.
Yeah.
At one point, I was like, I don't get it. And then I actually sat and watched the entire thing. I'm like,
it's like 3 hours long. It's pretty. It's like
2 hours 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
just very incredibly violent.
Yeah. Well, to say the least. But I mean, that scene has it all. It's got Wesley Snipes trying to use some slang that's clearly not the way he speaks normally. See what I'm saying? Like he kind of fucks it up, which is hilarious. But it's how people talked. It's how people still talk.
I mean?
Yeah, I mean, why people say that I don't know, because you never do know what they mean. Him taking out the cane with a sword in it and stabbing the guy in the hand was badass. It was like, that was some like Yakuza type shit. You know, I mean, it really was.
I'm not going to lie. I had a cane with a blade in it because of that scene.
I know you did. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Did you?
Yeah.
He thought he was Nino Brown.
Well, hey, man. And then I remembered he used a child as a human shield. It's like, oh, yeah.
You know what? I might need to get rid of this. I don't want to be Nino Brown.
I need to reevaluate my idols. This is not working out.
I feel ashamed of myself. But so, you know, of course, quote, that pretty motherfucker got choked out and stabbed in the hand as he should have. So then the Cash Money brothers are basically trying to figure out what their next move is. From there, one of my favorite characters who's not in the movie a lot is the old man, who just kind of comes up and, you know, just shows up all the time. He's like, "Oh, you're ruining our community."
Well, he's kind of like the city's conscience. He's kind of like the city's guardian angel, played by Bill Cobbs.
He's the innocent black person in the movie.
Yeah, he's the literal voice of the people.
Was he ever young?
You know what? I don't think so.
What a guy! I've never seen that dude as a younger man.
No, he was born.
He was born 57 years old.
57 years old, just right out of the womb. Yeah, but he's great. He's really great. I love when Nino's talking about it. I was like, that old man really wanted to do me. He's like pointing at the gun. That fucking makes me laugh every time. It's like, it's just so mocking, and God, Nino is a dick. But the first time that the old man talks to him, when they're inside the church or what have you, or they're somewhere and that reverend is there who's like, dude, look, this is like the slickest looking motherfucker I've ever seen. I was like, don't trust that reverend.
He looks like he's got a gold throne.
He does.
In his church.
He does. It looks like he would ask for exactly $180 from you to put in the collection plate. Like, I don't trust that guy at all. But let's play that clip for you, because that's actually really interesting, and it's a very message sort of moment.
All these people gather around you like you God Almighty, like you love them. Devils ain't got no love, man. You killing your own people.
And what can you offer them, huh? What, another I have a dream speech? Some of that same shit you ripping off to me? Look where we at. Not a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Use the fool, old man.
He basically just shit on Martin Luther King there. Like, if you still don't get that he doesn't give a fuck about anything, he's like, I have a dream speech. That shit ain't work. Get this money. That's all I'm about. And that's amazing. He takes down anything that's considered bigger than him. You know, I mean, his like, I'm king of the world type fucking speech when he's trying to bang his best friend's girl and everything else. He doesn't care about. He has zero redeeming qualities.
It's classic megalomania. And I mean, it's amazing. Like which is why I can't see Tracy playing that role. I'm just gonna murder him.
You're dead.
Yeah, he's got a god complex.
Yeah,
he does.
Give a fuck. Like, hey, I'm rich and you're not.
And I'll put a bullet.
And I don't give a fuck how I made the money, but it's mine, and I'm gonna keep it however I can.
And that's the thing. We all know someone like that. Like
I am that person. No,
like we've all met someone like that or know of someone like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's completely believable. I mean, as exaggerated as his actions are, yeah, it's completely believable.
Yeah, I mean, are they that exaggerated? I mean, I imagine somebody at the top of like one of these like cartels in Mexico, they're probably not that different. Yeah. I mean, you think about it, you're surrounded by people who are like, you're the shit, and I'm afraid you're going to murder me. So you just become an insane person. Then you get, what's your opinion, Johnny? No, fuck that. I got a handgun. I'll just blow your head off. Like you become insane. You couldn't possibly not go crazy. But so with all of this that's happening, and the cops are, sort of in this weird limbo after Pookie dies, and the gangsters don't have the Carter anymore. And Nino is sort of just handing out dollars to kids because what the fuck else does he have to do? We're starting, like, it's starting to ramp up towards the end here, right? And there are a lot of things happen pretty quickly. Basically, Tracy, Ice-T, decides that him and Peretti are going to go take down, they're gonna go get Nino Brown. And Ice-T kicks the shit out of Wesley Snipes in this scene. Like, so bad. After he gets him out of the apartment, just like beats him basically out of the apartment, onto the fire escape, off the fire escape, in the trash, and then delivers maybe one of the best lines of all time. Micah, go ahead.
He said he's got a gun pointed at a bloodied up Nino Brown, right? And he says, I want to kill you so bad, my dick's hard. Wow. Like that.
I really should have clipped that scene out. It's so good.
Like that is passion. That is really wanting someone dead.
But I'll give it to Ice-T. He really looked pissed.
Yeah.
Because at that point he had found out that Wesley Snipes had killed his mother.
Which come on.
How do you know that?
Guys.
Like, because he's like, yeah, she seemed like a school teacher or something. Wow, what an amazing guess, Wesley Snipes. How would you know? You were high on angel dust.
She looks like the type of woman that would name her son Tracy.
Yeah, like, she seemed about your light-skinnedness. What? But, and before we skip over that, G Money, of course, is smoking that, quote, glass dick, and is decided to try crack. Why you would do that, I don't know.
Well, was he always using it and then just kind of fell off the deep end, or
no? I don't think
they didn't indicate that.
No, I think he was around it so much he was just like
the events of. I mean, but he's always been around it, right? But I think the events of Nino Brown's hubris and arrogance, making him look soft, as he said. Was that the catalyst for?
I think that was
right after the scene where he stabbed. Right after the classic scene where he stabbed dude in the hand. And he was like, maybe I should give this a try.
Yeah. Okay.
And he did for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
Like he saw what the shit does to people.
Yeah.
Like, and the funny thing was, he actually in the beginning he brought the shit to Nino.
Yeah, he was the
he was the one
selling this shit,
right?
And that's how they started selling that, and that's how they became millionaires.
$1 million
like,
a week.
Fuck it. I'm gonna take it all.
Yeah,
it made him look like a bitch. Unfortunately.
Yeah, he did. And I just love that he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna screw your girl.
Yeah, that was
I was like, that ain't right, Nino.
Like, come on, man. You already have one.
Like,
and she was fine too.
Right.
She can't have no kids.
Can't have any kids.
And she can't have kids. Nino, you're living the dream. You're living the dream, man.
Well, ain't you?
That's the American dream, baby. Yeah, I mean, that was really funny. But once again, her character, Nino's girlfriend's character, was interesting too, because here she is. She's not white, because they're not going to. I mean, the whole point of the movie is to establish that black folks are at this same level as mobsters and everything else that that the American public is familiar with. So they didn't make her white, but they made her very fair skin. And she's a very white-looking woman in a lot of ways. And, of course, and here she is with the darkest person that they could find. Like, it wouldn't have made sense for her to be with Alan Payne's character, with G-Money. Like, he's light-skinned. Even the light-skinned guy is a second in command. Like, you have to be under me. You know what I mean? All of that is totally on purpose. It has to be. So, I don't know. I found her character to be interesting. Because, I mean, he just basically didn't give a fuck. I mean, he pushed her on the table. And Porsche. And down like champagne. I was like, is this the Dre Day video?
It said something to the effect of, I'll go buy another one.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and her character is kind of interesting because, Nino Brown is very smart. And you wonder how a guy like that, he's very business savvy. You wonder how a guy like that gets to become smart, and they're having an argument. He and the girlfriend are having an argument, and he says, "What have you ever done for me?" "Oh, sure, you gave me a couple books and stuff that I read, and it helped me establish this business. But what else have you done for me?"
Yeah. Hello. In a divorce proceeding, Mr. Brown, she would have gotten half. She helped you out. She built your business for you. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. Like, you didn't just get there on your street smarts. You got there by this little extra that other people didn't have.
Nino Brown didn't bring anything to the table except intimidation. He didn't bring the product. He didn't have the smarts. All he had was
I will fucking kill you.
Right. He was his crazy. And he wasn't even like the heavy. Like he wasn't tossing people off buildings.
He was just saying, do that.
Right. Like he has that charisma. He has the power of the spoken word is amazing to me.
Yeah. I mean, he basically convinced, the famous wedding scene where they come after him, and I mean, when the Italians come after them and they kill the one chick played by Vanessa A. Williams,
when they lullaby her.
Yes, when they lullaby her, which she's the worst gunman of all time. Why are you jumping from behind cover to shoot a machine gun? You're gonna get shot like 18 times. I was like, no, wait, no, all right, well, there you go. That was a poor choice.
She was a loyal soldier. He knows how to cast his foot soldiers.
Yeah, why don't you run up there and get shot while I leap like an NFL wide receiver over this table?
Why do a John Woo with a little girl in my hand, with a shield, shooting a gun back at the Italians?
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, he inspired them to get on that motorcycle and kill every single guy in front of that fucking Italian cafe. Everyone died. Also, by the way, the Italians were complete dicks. Did you notice how many racial slurs they would say?
Yeah.
Oh, my Ace Boone Coon. Hey, Nino. I was like,
hey,
wow.
We got you a lawn jockey with a noose
around his neck. I was like, God damn.
It's a joke.
You get it? Yeah, I get it. I'm going to cut your fucking ponytail off. How about that?
Well, how far from the truth is that? Because
not far at all.
I've seen documentaries about the mafia.
Yeah, I've watched The Sopranos.
They don't have any respect of the colored folk, if you will.
I mean, do you guys ever watch The Sopranos?
Yeah.
Hey, remember when the daughter was dating the half black dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony wasn't too pleased about that.
Yeah. No.
And how many other phrases did he use?
Let's just say an eggplant is something else besides something you eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he was not pleased. But yeah, I was glad when the Italians got murdered. I was like, those guys are dicks. They deserved it. So then Nino gets caught, obviously, and like I said, Ice-T kicked the shit out of Wesley Snipes up and down that road. I've never heard Wesley Snipes scream quite like that, especially when he got like punched in the stomach. It was awesome. That was great overacting, and I totally appreciated it. But then, so Nino gets brought to court, which is an absolutely fantastic scene. Here you get to see Wesley Snipes give the most important part, give the most important message part of the movie, which is when he's on the stand. So we'll play that now.
I'm not guilty. You're the one who's guilty. The lawmakers, the politicians, the Colombian drug lords, all you who lobby against making drugs legal, just like you did with alcohol during the Prohibition. You're the one who's guilty. I mean, come on, let's kick the ballistics here. Ain't no Uzis made in Harlem. I mean, not one of us in here owns a poppy field. This thing is bigger than Nino Brown. This is big business. This is the American way.
There it is. I mean, that is a great ending for his character. That's a great ending because, well, he's right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 100% right. It is bigger than him. It is big business, and it is the American way. Absolutely. I do appreciate the level of like, fuck you kind of attitude he has. Just like, yeah, I just gonna do what I want.
Yeah.
It's your fault. You know all those thousands of people I've gotten hooked on drugs and I've murdered and I've thrown people off bridges? It's your fault.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
I don't
blame society.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm going to blame you, dude. Like, what the fuck? You're a horrible person. But it was a substantial moment because a lot of what the movie is about, it shows you like this is the drug game. This is how bad it is. Crack destroyed the black community in the 80s. I mean, absolutely. There's no debate about that. But there is a bigger issue here that we're not dealing with. Think about, like, we want you to think, like, yeah, we all love the scene where I said such a $5 outstanding. We all love that, but pay attention because this is the point: is that it's not just these guys in every little ghetto who run the Carter or run the little corner. It's the guys who fund those guys. So I thought that was a really smart way to end his character.
And in case you weren't smart enough to get that message as it was lobbed to you, the very, very end, a credit comes up.
I have that quote too.
Oh, excellent.
That quote is, although this is a fictional story, there are Nino Browns in every major city in America. If we don't confront the problem realistically without empty slogans and promises, then drugs will continue to destroy our country.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm going to say something that might sound weird, but I think this movie should be played in schools.
Now?
Even now.
Or
even now.
I don't think the hairstyles work. Do you think that? I mean, but do you think that it glorifies?
Not at all. I don't think it glorifies.
No, not at all.
I don't think it glorifies. I think it glorifies it enough, but I think they show the consequences of your actions.
Old people will fucking shoot you in the courthouse. That's the consequences of your act. You're gonna get shot,
right?
With like a fucking Luger or something. I don't know, like from fucking
like
World War II.
Like
Dude, that gun fucking destroyed him. One shot, he was done.
Well, this came out in '91, right after I guess the whole Reagan. What was it? DARE.
Yeah.
When we were at school,
Yeah.
they had the whole DARE program with Nancy Reagan and
Dare to keep kids off drugs.
Like the whole war on drugs was I don't know if it was waning at this point or was it still in
Oh
full
yeah, I
effect?
mean the war on drugs has been going on since Nixon, basically.
Right, but at this point in time, when this movie
Yeah, they were
came
losing.
out,
They were seriously losing the war on
because
drugs.
this was pretty rough. But I guess when this came out, I could see this being played in schools Like I could easily see my music teacher playing this. Like if she didn't want to fucking teach me anything that day. But the parents would have an issue with that.
Yeah, I'd say that would definitely be true.
You'd need to get like a permission slip or something.
Yeah, but I just think it's, and I think that's the thing. I think young people, the younger you are, like you need to hit. Like I'm not saying like elementary school or whatever, but you need to be old enough that you get it, but young enough that it will still impact you. Like my parents, they took me to where my grandma used to live, and I said, "Oh, that's a red mailbox." And they said, yeah, you don't put mail in that mailbox. You put drug needles in that mailbox. And they drove me past. An area where people were shooting up, and and it's like, look, you want to do drugs? That's where you're gonna be. And that's all I needed to see.
Yeah, sorry, man.
This does not look appealing.
Right.
I don't like this at all.
Yeah, my mother is a nurse, so I got the sort of the same talk, but it was she used to work at a free clinic. You want to end up like that?
Yeah. Take you on a field trip to the free clinic?
Dude, that kid's your age. You got a baby on the way. Oh, hell no. I get it. Thank you.
Do not want.
Do not want. So, yeah, I mean, it is rather interesting. And the cultural implications of this movie are pretty profound. I mean, I don't know. I don't see the movie being shown in schools. Do I think it should be? Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I mean, I think certainly, I think nowadays kids would be like, even now, it's like, God damn, like, all right.
Right.
Like, even now, watching that movie, you're just like, damn, it was brutal. I mean, it was just brutal. I mean, Chris Rock's character going through being a crack addict, like, you really get to see it, and they're, like, yelling at each other. He's got the dry lips, and he's all fucked up. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's not sexy at all. There's nothing sexy about it. I mean, their lifestyle, the Cash Money Brothers, their lifestyle is a little sexy, but yeah, that goes by the wayside rather quickly.
Right.
I mean, when shit starts to go bad, it goes really bad real fast for them. So as it should, because they're horrible, horrible people. But yeah, I think the implications are pretty heavy, and I thought Mario Van Peebles did a really good job. I mean, obviously, it was a critical hit and certainly a commercial hit.
Yeah. Way to peak.
Yeah, dude. Like, because didn't he do like Soldier?
He did Posse, did he not?
Yes, he did.
He did do Posse.
That was his next film.
Oh no!
Was it? Ouch.
I have an idea for a cowboy movie. No, you don't. No, you don't, Mario Van Peebles. No, you don't. God
well,
damn
everyone
it.
has ideas, but whether they're good or not.
Dude, I told you, I saw
question.
Posse in the theater.
Fuck did you see that in the theater?
Because I was, dude. What year did Posse come out?
1993.
Dude, I was 13. I didn't know.
I had no desire to see that.
Oh, I thought it was going to be badass. I was like, yes, it's a black cowboy
Cowboys,
movie.
let's go.
Yeah, I was like,
militant
I was like, I'm gonna be a black cowboy living in Baltimore City. The fuck. Apparently, that's what I thought was gonna happen. It didn't happen, and I just remember being like, yeah, all right. This was a goddamn shame. Goddamn shame. What other movies did Mario Van Peebles do? You still have that up?
Panther.
I don't even know what that is.
Gang in Blue.
Don't know.
Love Kills.
Nope.
Badass.
Oh, that
was from his. That was it like a sequel?
It was sequel to his father's movie.
Yeah. Hard Luck. He did an episode of Sons of Anarchy.
Really? Didn't he do Soldier, or he just starred in that?
Universal Soldier.
I think he.
No, just Soldier, where he played. Yeah, he played like a
Solo.
Solo. Yeah, that's
Solo.
What did he direct that?
No, he just starred in it.
He just started. Yeah, I remember thinking that movie looked awesome, and then I remember not seeing it and being really happy I didn't. Poor Mario Van Peebles. Come on, man, get your act together. But I think that's pretty much it for this week. I certainly enjoyed doing this one. Nino Brown is a terrible person, but a fantastic character, and I think the movie did a really good job of exploring just how messed up crack was for our community, as well as the poor community at large. Yeah. I mean, but certainly the black community was affected disproportionately worse than any other community in the country. and still continues to be. So don't do drugs.
Yeah, especially crack.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially crack. Like, Jesus Christ! Look, I'm gonna say, look. If you're gonna do drugs, just don't do crack. All right? You can do as much coke as you want. Just don't do crack.
You can still run the 4x100 if you're doing cocaine. We've all learned this by now, okay? You can still run, chase a guy down, leap a fence, climb a fire escape, and kick someone so hard that oatmeal,
They
which is
just
supposed to be
start
vomiting out of their mouth. It's still possible. So go back and watch Superfly if you haven't seen it. So definitely check out New Jack City. It's on YouTube in its entirety. So
In HD.
In HD. Also, I was surprised they showed the boobs on YouTube.
Sometimes they get away with it.
Yeah, I was like,
Sometimes
oh,
it's like,
I was like, hello, drugstore. You know? But yeah, I was actually surprised that was in it. So I thought they would maybe blur it out or something like that. But yeah, no, they were on full display. But all in all, a great movie. So look forward to next week where I'll post a mini episode and give you an idea of what our next movie is going to be. All right, later, guys.
Take it easy.
Rock-a-blah, baby.
We out.